Hey everybody, what's going on? John here again. Hey, so one of the things I was thinking about, is and I might talk about this on the show on my News Talk 1040 AM show, Mondays 4 to 6 out of Tampa, is what is your prediction for 2024? Do you think it's going to be the same or do you feel like it's going to be different? I mean, my own sense of it, and this is just, I don't know. I can't even quantify it. It's just in the air, just talking to customers, talking to people, talking to, the audience out there and seeing it feels like something's different. Now, whether it's economy, whether it's going to be a crash or a soft landing, it feels, it's weird because on one hand, it feels like it could go either way, but also like we've got this big election and it's very consequential in my opinion, right? Is it going to be Trump? Is it going to be Biden? Is it, or someone else, right? So we'll see. I mean, we have the GOP, primary that starts later today, technically, with the Iowa caucuses. But I got to tell you, it feels a little bit different. Some people are talking about, hey, is the Fed going to cut rates or is inflation still there? What's going to happen again with the economy? Look at what's going on with higher education, with Harvard and these different names out there. Look at what's happening with some of these, foreign policy things. There's a lot going on, and there's always a lot going on. I understand that, but it really feels like there can be some different, definite shifts out there, some different things that could be happening, some things that can change the whole situation, if you will, in my opinion. Well, look, just take the election. If we have 4 more years of Biden, or if we have 4 more years of Trump, I think you see very different outcomes out there. That could also impact how we look at energy policy, foreign policy, markets, all kinds of things. I think that's pretty obvious. Then you see what's going on in automotive, right? I mean, we just had a year where Tesla sold more vehicles than did General Motors. That's a big deal. Okay. Excuse me. Let me correct myself. Sorry. I mean, seriously correct myself. No, they did not sell more than General Motors. Tesla sold more than, I believe, than Volkswagen, than VW. Tesla sold more than Mercedes, BMW, and they also sold more than Volkswagen, VW, not GM, VW. GM sells many more cars. So that's my mistake. I wanted to revise and extend that. But that's a lot of cars. I think they sold something like 650,000 cars. Then there's talk about the Model 2 that may be coming down the road here that could be at around a $25,000 price point. So that is a huge impact. But then you also see stories about how people are backing off on EVs, how Hertz has backed off on this a little bit, and some of these EVs are sitting in dealerships. So again, a lot of things in flux. You have the, unemployment still low, but then you see these different reports about how, there's more layoffs, and we've seen this in media. We've seen it in tech. What about the housing, situation? People aren't buying houses, inventory is going up, and so you still see pricing pretty high. Yes, it's come back at certain bits in some places, but then if there's a rate cut, what happens there? Tremendous things in flux. A lot can happen in 2024. My own sense of it, if I have to just, at a very high level, I think it's going to be a very interesting year. I think we're going to have to really, be ready for a lot of change. I do think the Cat Williams interview is very interesting. I'll talk about that more on the show because I think it sort of portends. It was very interesting in and of itself. Obviously, made a lot of news there. But I also think it portends a lot for just a change in consciousness, if you will, of what's out there in the zeitgeist. And meaning that, like, if Cat Williams, I told this to my little brother Paul, Cat Williams went from a very successful comedian almost to this, not unlike Dave Chappelle to some degree, in terms of branding and positioning, but this almost like sort of crusader against Hollywood, you know what I mean? And a lot of other things there. So a real shift in branding, things move like this. we've seen a shifting branding even with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, the persona before the Fox show, different. And I'm not saying anything. I'm just talking in the minds of consumers. Different than when he was on Fox. Now different that he's off Fox. Similar, but there's shifts. I think we can see that with 2024. I think there's going to be a shift. The shift is on. I do think that right now at the election, and I'm the only one said this. I mean, I've been right. I've been ahead of the game on this, right? I think if the election were held right now, it's Donald Trump's election to lose. But I think there's a lot that's going to happen. We're going to see a campaign, and who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We'll see. I don't know that anyone can give a full prediction on that. I think I'm sure campaigns have plans, but I think we're going to have to see how it rolls out. But I think that there is that political aspect's going to really, really be very impactful this year. But I think a lot of things are coming under question now. You saw the news out of Johns Hopkins, my alma mater, or one of them anyway, and you've seen Harvard, you've seen a lot of different things out there. You've seen tech pulling back. You've seen a lot of things. There's a lot of shifts going on. I definitely feel like there's going to be this, like what I've been saying this. I said this, that 2024 is going to be the year, the revenge of reality, if you will. Reality strikes back, if you will. Cat Williams saying that 2024 is the year of truth. I think a lot of things are going to be like that. So I think that we're going to see some of the old playbooks being imposed, but I don't think that's going to necessarily work. How it all settles out, it's going to be very interesting. But I think whether you're talking about the job market, technology, media, the Disney laying off people, streaming, there's all kinds of different things out there. I think it's all on the table, and it's going to be very interesting. And we all need to be engaged, and we're going to be talking about it because we're making a future, right? So it's very interesting. Anyway, looking forward to talking about that. I just want to put that out there because that's sort of an overarching paradigm and theme, right, that I'm going to be talking about on the upcoming shows, because I think that as we're into 2024 now, I think that's definitely on the table, and I definitely think that things are going to shift now in terms of we're going to actually have votes and have something to talk about there, so it's going to be interesting. But I look forward to talking about John D. Villarreal show, radio show on News Talk 1040, Mondays 4 to 6, so later today, right? And live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Thanks so much. Looking forward to your comments. Talk to you soon.